I have no regrets on the decisions that I've made because I've got to work with some really incredible people that I admired my whole life. And then one day, you're in a recording studio with a Brian Wilson, and or a Paul McCartney or somebody of that stature. You say, okay, I think I made the right decision.
We'll talk about Brian Wilson first of all. I mean, being in a studio and seeing the genius of Brian Wilson.
Well, Brian is just one of those living legends, icons. There's not many of them. And certainly Brian is one. Oddly enough, he and Paul McCartney have had their birthdays within a few days of each other, just turning 80. But look, Brian, everything that has been said about Brian and all the legendary status is incredible. And I worked, there's a good friend of mine, David Leaf, who worked with Brian for years, initially introduced me to Brian. And I was at Ocean Way Recording Studios. He goes, I'm with Brian, we're making a Christmas album. And, he had Carney and Wendy with him, and he had his mother in the studio with him. And this was a number of years ago. But just seeing him at the board, and it almost reminds me, seeing him at the board was like magical. It was like the first time I met Paul McCartney. First time I met Paul McCartney, and we were talking, I couldn't stop staring at his hands. For some reason, I got focused on his thick fingers and thinking about what he created. And he's talking to me, and I'm staring at his hands. I'm saying, oh, my God, what the hell is he thinking? And the same with Brian.